Hello everyone, welcome back to Plant and Body by Design. Today I'm going to feature to you a plant called Dahlia. This is a special request from my cousin who lives in New Jersey and would like to know the tips on how to grow this very special plant. I'm going to dedicate this episode to her. Anyway, Dahlias belongs to the Asteraceae family, and they are tuberous or bulbous perennial herbaceous plants, and they are beautiful plants. These dahlias are in peak season right now. You could include these dahlias in any landscapes, and as you could see where I am right now, it provides you an instant beauty to any garden. And they are easy to take care. So you could propagate these dahlias also from cuttings. You could also divide the tubers during springtime. But I would like to recommend that you have to protect these plants from frost because they are tender perennial plants. Sometimes they could be classified as annuals. After the first frost, you have to dig them and then store them with the peat moss or perlite or sawdust. To store the bulbs of these dahlias or tubers, you should keep them in a cool, dry place, at least 40 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. And then by spring, that's when you bring them out. But what you have to do, what I recommend is you have to check the tubers every time, make sure there's no rotten tubers or bulbs. The best soil for dahlia is an organic compost soil. I have here an area where I put all my composts. Next year will be a good soil for dahlias. I already used some of them over here in this area. That's where I put all my grass clippings, vegetable scraps. That's where I dump them over here in this area. And by next year, these are perfect soil for dahlias. Fertilization for dahlias, what I recommend is if you look for the numbers, those designates NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So what I recommend is to make sure it has a higher value on phosphorus. It's perfect for dahlias. Don't use the one that's more on nitrogen because otherwise they will be skinny. So you could use any fertilizer, but if you have manures, something like that, you could use those too. Sometimes these dahlias can also be left on the ground if you want to do that. But make sure you have an extra plant if you want to leave them on the ground so that you won't lose any collection. But when you leave it on the ground, make sure you have to mulch it well. That way it will be protected from any frost. And these dahlias are perfect for cut flowers. after you plant the bulbs, you need to put a stakes right away to support the plants. So what I recommend, once the old flowers are browning, you need to remove them. You have to remove it, cut it. That way induces more blossoms. So if you want to have a continuous blossoms, what you have to do is to remove or deadhead the spent flowers like this. Okay, just remove it.